Hey, what's up guys, this is Apollo Uchiha here, back with another part of What If Naruto, A Flower in Time, and this is going to be the final part of this series. And if you like it, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel. And without further ado, let's continue our story. I promise, Madrahime, I will forever love you, and I promise to come home to you, no matter what. If I have to destroy an entire town just to see you, I'll do it. I love you, and only you, Mother-chan, Naruto said before kissing her forehead, making her giggle as she buried her face deeper into his chest. Good, because if you ever break up with me and start dating some slut, I'd cut her up and burn her with my amaterasu before slicing your dick off and feeding it to you. Then I'll kill us both, she said with a smile on her face. She meant every word of this. She'd never allow some slut to have her Naruto. I'm sorry, Madara said, or mumbled out quietly while she looked away from her boyfriend. She wasn't going to admit it, but she knew that she was overreacting, but wouldn't ever admit that she was wrong. What did you say? Naruto asked while looking at his girlfriend in confusion since he didn't hear her. He put the menu down and looked at her with concern evident in his eyes. He felt bad for her since they assumed that she had some food poisoning thanks to bad sushi. I said that I'm sorry. You shouldn't get the sushi since it made me sick. She lied while rubbing his whiskers and making him purr in content. She was winning and he knew it. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I shouldn't get it. But it also a different restaurant. But at the same time, I don't want to get sick like you are, he said while purring in her hand, making her giggle. Yeah, the food poisoning does suck, but how funny would it be if I was actually pregnant and not sick? I mean, just imagine little black hair and blue-eyed Uchihas running around the village and setting things on fire and scaring people. She smiled down and smiled while letting out a content sigh as she imagined how their kids would look like while pulling her hand away from his whisker marks. Why do they have to have black hair? Why not blonde? Naruto asked with an arched eyebrow. A blonde Uchiha won't be too bad now, would it? Madara-san and Naruto-kun, I didn't expect to see you two. Mind if I join you? Asked a seductive voice as she grabbed a chair and sat down. No, I don't want you joining us, you hag. How about you go somewhere else and leave me and my Naruto-kun alone? Is what Madara really wanted to say before giving off a fake smile. Of course, Mizukage Tono. My boyfriend and I were just talking about what we should order, Madara said in a sweet, sick smile, a fake one at that, while putting extra emphasis on the word my. Hello, Mizukage Tono. How's your day? Naruto asked while feeling his girlfriend's key being directed right at him. As she bore holes into his face, if looks could kill then Naruto would have been dead 100 times over now. Please, Naruto-kun, call me May. We are friends after all, she said with a smile on her face while she gently patted his arm. Thank you? Naruto questioned her while looking at his overly happy off girlfriend. He had a feeling he was in trouble with her, and he was most likely going to be sleeping on the couch when they got back to their home. Oh, Naruto-kun, they have Karega chicken here, she said as they placed their order. So, Mizukage-tono, I'm glad that our village is able to have an alliance together, she said with a smile on her face before she subtly slammed her heel onto Naruto's foot with a sweet smile. Sadly, Naruto has been drinking some water when his pissed off girlfriend slammed her heel into his foot, making him choke on his water. Oh my, Naruto-kun, are you alright? Madara asked while feigning innocent as she brought her hand onto her mouth with shocked eyes. I'm fine, Naruto coughed out while gently hitting his chest and looking into his girlfriend's mischievous eyes. Oh, she was going to be the death of him, but it didn't mean interesting that if he said so himself. You should be careful, Naruto-kun. We wouldn't want you to get hurt, now would we? Cooed May while she gently took his hand into hers, while Naruto developed a sweat drop. Yep, I'm dead. Link break. So the mission was success, but you both ran into some complications, Tsunade questioned while looking at both Madara and Naruto with a questioning look. Naruto's outfit was destroyed, making it look like he went through a war. His vest was no more, and his shirt was barely hanging on by a thread. She looked at his pants and noticed that they were torn apart and sweat dropped. Madara wasn't any better. Her vest was gone and noticed that she was wearing Naruto's jacket, while sporting a black eye and a busted lip, while her pants were somewhat torn up, and noticed that she was holding her broken heel in her hands. Do I want to know? Tsunade asked, while noticing the peptide Uchiha turning to her boyfriend and started glaring at him. Well, she said through gritting her teeth. We have an alliance with Kiri, but Madara isn't allowed to set foot back in Kiri ever again. It's now a law, or anything. I think it was more of a suggestion, Naruto said, with a sweat drop. I could have kicked that bitch's ass, but no, you had to stop the fight, she said while glaring at him in annoyance. It wasn't her fault that she was getting tired of the Mizukage trying to sink her debentures in her man. So you fought with the Mizukage, eh? Do I want to know what was the fight about? Tsunade asked while pinching the bridge of her nose in utter annoyance. Why couldn't Naruto just have a normal mission? All the missions that he'd been on before he went on his training trip had been always interesting. Like this one. She kept trying to sink her damn dentures in him, so I politely asked her to stop. Madara huffed out while crossing her arms under her bust. You punched her in the face at the restaurant, Naruto replied with a deadpan voice. Besides, isn't she like in her 20s? He asked. Oh, so you were checking her out? Madara asked in a sickly sweet tone. Oh, he was definitely going to sleep on couch tonight. For that comment, I wasn't checking her out. She told us how old she was when we first met her, remember? Naruto said, unknowingly digging his own grave deeper. Besides, I'm more concerned about getting ourselves a new bed, couch, and some tables, he said while Madara kicked his chin. If I see her again, I'm kicking her ass, and this time you're not going to stop me, she barked out. I'll meet you at home and bring me some fried squid with honey and... Oh, I'm also in the mood for some ramen mixed with sushi. If you're a second late, you're going to regret it. She smiled before disappeared in a black flash. So you taught her the Harishin? It was more of a statement than a question. It wasn't a bad thing that two people knew that jutsu. It would help strengthening their villages and stop the other villages from trying to attack them. Yeah, I had to revamp the seal. Only she and I know how to work it and how to revamp it. If anyone else tries to recreate it, let's just say there would be a large boom. Now I have to go and get my dangerous princess some food. I'll see you later, Ba-chan, Naruto said before jumping out of the window to get his angry little Uchiha some food. Don't die on me, Gaki. Not yet, at least. I want to see some blonde grandchildren before she kills you. Tsunade smirked while watching Naruto fall face first on the floor. After his graceful fall, Naruto made a few clones to go out and buy a new bed frame, couch, and some tables. He walked over to the Ichiraku ramen and placed Madara's order for ramen with sushi mixed in, making Ayame giggle at his expense. Naruto smiled, knowing that Madara loved Ayame immediately and viewed her as a sister just like how he viewed her as one. How's Madara-chan doing? Ayame asked while handing Naruto his order. She's doing fine. For some reason, she's been having some weird cravings. On our way back, she cried because a dango shop didn't have spicy dango with honey. Naruto sighed while thanking Ayame. Link break. Naruto smiled as he walked into the house and saw his clone putting their new couch as Madara walked down the stairs while wearing a tank top and a pair of sweaters. She giggled and ran towards him and stole her food before running to a new couch and plopped down as she pulled out her food and started digging in. He couldn't help but smile as he saw her smiling happily while slurping down noodles and eating her sushi. He wanted to talk to her but decided to do that later. He walked into the kitchen and grabbed some cups and started brewing some tea for the two of them. He walked out while the water was heating up and sat down next to her. Thank you, she said while some food in her mouth, making him smile and chuckle at her antics. He watched as she held some sushi to his face and smiled as he took a bite of the sushi. Mother couldn't help but smile at him. He was patient with her and put up with her attitude when she had one. He always fought back, which made her happy. Their relationship may be weird to the most of people, but to her, it was perfect. Make sure she doesn't try to kill you, Ningen, a voice spoke to Naruto as he watched his smiling girlfriend eat his food. She is different, Kurama. I truly love her. I'll keep her safe even at the cost of my own life if needed. Naruto thought back. He knew Kurama was worried, but he trusted Madara with his life. If she kills you, don't blame anyone but yourself. I hate the fact that she has his name. Madara growled out. Kurama growled out in anger. Stop overreacting, Kurama. I trust her. Naruto replied before cutting off the connection. You seem to be lost in thought. Is everything okay, Naruto-kun? Mother asked while rubbing his whisker marks. She was concerned with him. Yeah, just have a lot of going on in my mind. I told you about Sasuke. I'm glad that I was able to get over for wanting to bring him back. He's too far gone, and once he kills his brother, he's going to blame someone else for his anger. It's an endless cycle, he sighed out. Mother looked at him and gently laid his head on her lap. While running her fingers through his hair, she knew where he was coming from. They both felt that darkness and had embraced it. Naruto-kun. If he ever stays or sets his eyes on the village, will you kill him? She asked, while looking into his blue eyes. Yes, I will. He's a loose cannon and blames everyone around him for how his life turned out. Naruto replied while leaning up and capturing her lips in a gentle, passionate kiss. As they deepened their kiss, a knock on the door brought them out of their stupor and pissed Madara off. She wanted some alone time with her fox, and some asshole had to gal to interrupt their intimate moment. Whoever it is, better have a fucking death wish, she snarled or in anger. Or she was going to burn whoever it was. She didn't care if it was the hag, she'd rip her head off. Who is it? Naruto asked while walking towards the door, knowing the person behind the door should be running for their lives now, since they pissed off his hormonal girlfriend. It's Ino and the rest of the gang. Can we come in? She asked. When Naruto opened the door, the Rookie 8 plus Team Guy were standing outside his front door. For what reason? He didn't know why. Aren't you going to let us in? Ino asked while poking his chest in annoyance. Naruto-kun, just send them away. I need my alone time with you, Madara whined out, while putting emphasis on the word my, while sending them a clear. Be nice, Hime. It's been 3 years since I've seen them, and they probably want to get to know you too better as well, Naruto said while kissing his girlfriend's lips. Fine, but you're making it up to me tonight. With that I want and when I want it, with no complications and complaining. Got it? She said in a voice that left little room for arguments. As you wish. As everyone entered the house. So, why are you all here for? Madara asked, annoyed while grabbing her cup of tea. She looked at them while clearing for ruining her alone time with her boyfriend. She wanted to kick all of their asses for this, but had to play nice for him. Well, we wanted to get to know you better, and since you seem to be nice around Naruto, so we thought we'd take advantage of the situation while we had it, Ino said while sending back a smirk towards Madara. So you're scared of me, and you're trying to use my boyfriend as a sort of shield so I won't kill you, Madara summed up with a deadpan look on her face. She had to give it to the blonde. She had smarter than she looked like at first glance. Maybe they could be friends if she stopped hitting on her boyfriend. So what? If we're using your boyfriend as a meat shield, it's not like you can do anything about it. Ino smirked while sticking her tongue out at her as Naruto and everyone developed a sweat drop. Cheeky blondie, Madara thought to herself with a smirk. Fine, you win, Brad. Madara spoke as she stood up and stretched a bit before making a few clones to grab more cups and some food for the guest. Since you all decided to come unannounced, we didn't have time to prepare some snacks or food for our guest. And since I'm starting to like you, Flower Girl, I won't beat you. Yet. She smiled as Naruto punched the bridge of his nose, but smiled. Hopefully she starts making some friends now, he thought to himself. She's stubborn, cocky, so it may take a bit longer than you hope. Kurama spoke while opening one of his eyes and yawned. Who knows? I mean, Ino is also stubborn, so it may work out, Naruto replied, for cutting the link off so Kurama could go back to sleep. The rest couldn't help but laugh at this. They felt more relaxed now, seeing how things were running out. Hope you all enjoy the snacks and tea, Madara spoke as her clones walked in with a few different plates and trays of snacks and tea. Itataki must. They all spoke in a grateful manner. Glad you're playing nice finally. He teased his girlfriend with a smile on his face. So you are sure you wanna be with him? I mean, I am the alpha, declared Kiba with what looks like his best attempt at a flirtatious smile, but ended up with his tongue stuck out to side of his mouth with some food on its cheek, making him look like a bigger idiot. If you're an alpha, then I'm the Hokage, Madara replied with a deadpan look on her face as she rested her head on Naruto's shoulder and smiled in content. Sakura looked at them and couldn't help but smile. They truly looked happy, and she was happy that her teammate finally found someone who loved him. She knew that she couldn't return his feelings because not only was he annoying to her, but as they got to know each other better, she started to view him more as a brother figure than anything else. Her train of thoughts were interrupted hearing Lee start yelling as usual. Yosh! Kiba-kun! If as strong as you say you are, then let's have a youthful sparring session, Lee shouted with fire burning in his eyes. Well, you see, Lee, I sprained my ankle yesterday training with my team, Kiba lied while sweating bullets, hoping the green, overly excited Chunin no one would buy it. When did you sprain your ankle? Came the calm voice of his teammate Shino. It happened after we were done training, yeah. Kiba squeaked out. Whatever, dog brats, some other tell us about how you and Naruto got together. Ino spoke up with a fit of giggles as her eyes twinkled with excitement. She always loved hearing stories about how people got together and always had a fantasy about a white knight saving her since she was a child. I fell through a portal and he found me. That's pretty much the entire story, she replied with a deadpan look on her face. Why did everyone want to know about her love life? Couldn't they just leave it alone as it is? It was stupid having to explain everything over and over again and again. How vexing, she muttered to herself as placed her hand on her stomach and closed her eyes. Really? That's all you're going to tell us? I mean, I was hoping for more details, she barked, making Shikamaru let out a sigh again. Troublesome plants, he muttered out as he took a bite out of his dango. Link break. Lemon warning, your friends are annoying. Madara yawned out as she laid in bed, wearing nothing but Naruto's shirt and a black lace thong. They mean well, especially Ino. She can be pushy and stubborn, but she's only like that when she sees some as a friend. Hehe. He replied with a smile as he put his toothbrush down and walked into the bedroom before wearing a black boxer. I mean, I like what I see. Madara practically purred out in pleasure, licking her lips as she leaned into the breath huskily into Naruto's ear. I want you to fuck me hard, nibbling a little on his ear before leaning back to stare into his eyes. Madara started to lightly grind her hips into Naruto's. So, what do you say? Are you a man enough for me, Naruto-kun? She moaned out into the last part into his ear. Naruto lifted his hips, allowing her to get his boxer down. Seconds later, she was almost uppercutted in the face by his pole, swinging free. Madara could only stare in awe at the massive appendage before her. No matter how many times she saw it, she was always shocked and in awe about how big it was. With her right hand, she grabbed it and started to stroke him up and down, feeling his hardness. Naruto closed his eyes as he relaxed himself, the soft touch of her hands going up and down. Madara, your hands are soft, he said, feeling her hands grab on tight to him. Madara looked up at Naruto, smiling that he liked what she was doing. She put the tip in front of her mouth and started sucking it like a hungry schoolgirl. She grabbed him by one hand while she sucked the part she couldn't grab. Naruto looked down at her, feeling her hot saliva all around his dick. She looked up while she worked on his dick. With one hand, she grabbed her breast and started rubbing it for her own pleasure. Naruto was happy that he finally had a chance to cool off from today by getting a blowjob by Madara. Her tongue rubbed against the bottom of his shaft, which felt better than he would have thought. Naruto started to feel his climax soon. The more she sucked his dick, he grabbed her behind the head and pushed her so she could come faster. But she pulled away, letting his dick out of her mouth. She stood up looking at him. Sorry, Naruto, but for doing that, I'm not going to let you come. Not so soon, she said with a sadistic smirk. Naruto looked at her and his unsatisfied erection. She too did see his penis still strong as ever and decided that maybe she was being too rough. I'm sorry, Naruto, she apologized. Here, let me make this up to you. She got again between his legs and got on top of him. She put her hands on the bed, using them to guide herself down his dick. Madara went slowly since they didn't want to break their bed again. Feeling his hot dick slowly entering her, she bent down halfway, feeling him burrow through her. She slowly dropped all the way and waited for herself to get used to him. Seeing as he was large and thick, no matter how many times they had sex, she always felt like a virgin. Losing her virginity for the first time, she lifted her arms and placed them on his abs and started going up and down slowly. Naruto grabbed her waist to meet up with her and went faster than her so he could make her come fast. Damn, your pussy is hard and tight, he said. He stopped meeting up with her and just looked at her jump up and down, seeing her tits jiggle. You like my dick, don't you? He said. Yes. Fuck Naruto, she said. Come on, I want to see you bounce on my cock, he said as he lay back onto his bed. Madara started to bounce higher, feeling herself up and stretch out each time she went up and down. She already felt herself climaxing and leaned forward, placing her arms on his shoulder. Naruto grabbed her by ass and the sides and started to thrust himself as well. He kept going and felt her pussy was getting hotter. I missed your pussy. I'm going to fuck it and come inside you, he said, whispering into her ear. Madara got grabbed on tighter to him as he went harder. Naruto, she screamed. I'm gonna come. She screamed again in pleasure. Madara started to come, pouring her hot juices on him, which drove him to go even faster. For a blissful moment, you could hear a splat form all her wetness before Naruto blew his load in her. They both stopped and waited to catch their breaths. She reached back and pulling him out, feeling his sticky penis. She got up and off the bed and turned around. Naruto stood up quickly and grabbed her thighs together and picked her up. He then spread her apart, showing her pussy, and openly and slowly lowered her down to enter her. What the hell? She asked confusedly. Like I've said before, this is mine, he said, and started thrusting up. Like that, he started fucking her while Madara just held on, feeling embarrassed for being spread wide. She thought that as her price to pay and just called it even. Fuck Naruto. Don't stop, she screamed. Okay, because I'm not putting emotion into the voices of this because it's 11, so yeah, please bear with me. And if you want to read it, the name of the story is Mangekyou A, Flower in Time. In fanfiction, you can search for it. Anyways, on to the story. Madara already felt herself coming again and couldn't hold it any longer. She started to come as it traveled down his sack, feeling her juices. Naruto decided to stop here and lowered her on the floor. She rested, feeling herself to see how wet she already was. Naruto looked at her. Now let me fuck your ass. Bend over and grab your ankles, he said. Madara did what he said and reached down to grab onto her ankles, waiting for him to enter. Naruto walked up behind her and, with his dick straight in the angle to her ass, he grabbed it and entered his tip, feeling this was going to be fun. He started thrusting in her ass, feeling his penis curve down the more deeper he went. Madara felt herself tipping over, seeing as he was going fast. Fuck Naruto, calm down, she screamed. Naruto kept on going, not stopping as usual. Madara this time felt what real anal sex felt like, and as he was entering her ass by mistake one night, she now knew what it was to be forced apart, if you know what I mean. Fuck this, ass feels great. I'm gonna come already, Naruto said. Naruto started to shoot his load up her ass as she let go of her ankles and stood up, letting him finish. Although he was already down, Naruto didn't pull out as Madara turned around to ask why. What's wrong? He asked. Naruto grabbed her shoulders and pushed her against the wall. She placed her hands on the wall and made her legs straight. Naruto now started to thrust in her again, seeing as his cum made it easier for him. Are you done? She asked. Naruto nodded a no and kept on going. He let go and grabbed her tits, rubbing her nipples, feeling them hard since she took her shirt off. Naruto kept on the speed and kept on going for it. Naruto, I'm coming, she screamed. Naruto didn't care as she started to pour her juices down her legs. While Naruto enjoyed her as he too felt himself coming again and went as fast as he could go. Without saying, he blew his load up her ass and leaned forward, resting on her back. As they both rested, Madara finally knew what she got herself into. If she kept on going with him, she wouldn't live for tomorrow. She waited for him to pull out, and before he could go into any hole, she passed out. For the pleasure her boyfriend just gave her. You're going to pay for this, she muttered out before passing out into his arms again. end of the lemon. The sounds of birds chirping stirred. Madara woke as she placed her arms on her boyfriend but felt nothing but sheets and pillows. Did that asshole just leave me in bed alone? She mentally crawled as she got up out of the bed quickly and winced before placing her hands on her ass cheeks. Asshole, um, I'll make sure you regret taking my anal like that. She crawled before grabbing her thong, then slipped it back on before making her way downstairs and towards the kitchen. Hey, you asshole, you broke my ass. Now I'm going to break your dick, she shouted, not noticing another blonde in the kitchen who spat out her juices. Wow, didn't expect my morning to be so juicy and with gossips. The woman smirked as she looked at the revenant. Morning, Madara. I'd ask how you slept, but after hearing that, I might have guessed, she giggled. And Madara ran after her, blowing her jutsus after that, and Naruto just chuckled sitting there. As their time went by, after a few months, Madara came to Tsunade to check up on her as her stomach was starting to get swollen. Naruto and Madara had already guessed that she was pregnant already due to all that sex they had, and to their answer, Tsunade agreed with them. And after that, they were both happy, as Naruto and Madara were now back home, as Madara was having her hormones raging and craving many things. Naruto, I want sushi, ramen, and some pizza. Go buy me some. Wait, what? At the time it's 10 p.m. Madara. It's almost as if the whole shops in the village might be closed at this time. I don't care. Get me some. Fine. Naruto at that night ran 3 villages across to get what his girlfriend desired. Lucky for him, he had the Harishin. So once he got there and grabbed his food, he Harishin backed in an instant. That was a nice save. After 8 months, the Great Fourth Ninja War started. It went as in canon, and in the end, Sakura, Naruto, and Madara were the ones who killed the male Madara as well as Obito alongside Sasuke Uchiha. Meaning, only Madara was the remaining Uchiha that remained in that realm. And after that, Madara gave birth. Yes, she fought during her pregnancy. Madara is OP, so yeah, nobody can break that about it. Madara fought blindly 5 bijus, so yeah, I'm not going to make female Madara any weaker than his male counterpart. If anything else, maybe more stronger. And Naruto became the 6th Hokage after the end of the war and had his first baby with Madara. Life was finally looking up to him. As this is where I'm going to be leaving off the story. I know it's quite the rushed ending because the story didn't have any ending in original fan fiction. You can check that out. I have already given you the name. If you don't understand it, the name of this fan fiction is Mangekyou A Flower in Time. You can check it out in fanfiction.net. And yeah, guys, this is Apollo Uchiha, and I'm signing out. Peace.